everybody, and welcome to Superhero Speak. I'm your host, Dave.
And I'm the other host, Don.
And to all of our Christian fans watching, Happy Easter. And to all of our Jewish fans, Shalom, and whatever other religions there are, peace be to you.
And if you don't celebrate Easter, happy the day that Christians have to see the hack joke at least once or twice on social media of Zombie Jesus. So, Zombie Jesus Day for those that don't celebrate.
Zombie Jesus. Every time I hear that joke, it's
very much hack. Very much hack.
Yes.
So, yes, do know that if you're the person on social media thinking, hey, this is clever, nope, very, very hack. Low
what are we
rent,
talking about?
as they say.
What are we talking about this week? We got, well, of course, we're going to get caught up on some shows that we've been watching.
A lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Dan Slott. This is big, man. Dan Slott responded to our video from last week.
What? There's no other proof you need. Superhero Speak is the premier superhero talk show on YouTube.
We
got Chuck Dixon in the live chat, and on that same video, then we get Dan Slott in the comments after. What else do you need?
All the biggest writers watch us. I don't know why. And then we've got we have a little bit of Spider-Man news. We got a possible it's a kind of a rumor at this point, the theory on the Batman 2. Of course, the Supergirl trailer came out with some interesting controversy around it. We'll get into all that. And of course, the big topic of the night, we will be reviewing Super Mario Galaxy, which I forgot was even coming out. And then you had said you were going to go see it. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'll go see it.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, sir, how are you? How was your week?
Yeah, it's been one of those weeks, like I said, we're celebrating a holiday here, and we saw a new movie, but really to me, we got the Iran war going on, and there was a fighter pilot that was down, so we had some real drama around, did he get rescued? Did he get rescued? Turns out he did. Both pilots on the plane that was shot down, were rescued alive, so that's good. But interesting that we have that. This war is playing out in like real time, and it's kind of crazy and disturbing. But yeah, so that's kind of the latest drama with that. So that's a crazy life. How about you, Dave? How's your week?
No, I thought you. No bad jokes other than your Zombie Jesus. My week was okay, uneventful. For the most part, Thursday went up to Lancaster with the girlfriend because she was on her spring break that week, and we were originally going to go overnight, and then that got changed. We just went up for the day. Had a good time. For those who, it's a local reference. For those who don't know, Lancaster is A, mainly farm country, and B, where you'll find the Amish in Pennsylvania. When I always talk about the Pennsylvania Amish, that's where they hang out, is in Lancaster. I don't know if hangout's the right.
And see, the last place you'd ever think when it comes to spring break trips. So yikes.
Yes, it is the last place, but but we had a good time. And then I went and saw a movie and got caught up on some TV shows and all that good stuff. So let's not waste any time tonight. Let's start off with let's see, which one do we want to talk about first? Let's talk about episodes 2 and 3 of Daredevil.
Okay.
So okay, let's be fair. Not as much action, I think, in these two as there was. I mean, there is there is the escape scene in the third episode, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Long one shot sequence. You know, I mean, it's not. We now know that it's been revealed that a lot of those um videos, a lot of those shots, even in the Netflix series, were there were tricks that you couldn't tell where the cuts were. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but but that was a cool shot. But a lot of character stuff in these two episodes. Um, you know, you've got the communications director for Fisk. Um, is in some deep doo doo. It's revealed he's the one that leaked the footage that is uh that Ulrich, I can't think of her first name, Ben Ulrich's niece, the
Mm-hmm.
the reporter, um is doing a uh like they keep calling when I see people talking about, they keep calling a Max Headroom style videos where she's wearing a face mask and she's like making fun of him and stuff.
Yeah, that's not Max. That's not an
No.
apt description at all. No, that's but nonetheless.
So it's a lot of things like that. Still no Jessica Jones, which is pissing me off, which is making me feel like she's going to show up for one episode and that's going to be it,
Mm.
you know. But let's before we get into too much detail, what did you think overall of these two episodes?
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned being pissed at the Jessica Jones thing, because that must buy that, but it's probably the reason. I guess we're gonna have very different opinions this week that you didn't expect. I loved these two episodes. I
Oh
thought there was
wow.
plenty of action. The scene where, you know, the white tiger's niece, she gets the amulet, all that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then getting all those people rescued from, Wilson Fisk, including the swordsman. So just kind of,
Yeah.
swordsman's like an F tier Marvel character, but still
Yeah.
he's alongside Daredevil, and that's cool. And it, and I was like, hey, are we gonna get to see some Hawkeye action here? Seeing as that's Hawkeye's stepfather, the swordsman.
Yeah.
You may not remember, for those that didn't see the new Hawkeye series with Haley Steinfeld, I think is his name, or some shit like that. But
Yeah.
anywho, so that was like, oh, that's interesting to think about. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, I think that uh, you know, the work I put in getting through season one is paying off.
Okay.
And even the Netflix experience a little bit. It's like, it's just that's just real cool, I guess, to have the backstory of really this whole thing, with the city of New York. So
Yeah.
it's very Daredevil to me. The only thing that I really don't like is, and again, I mean, obviously I use that, I cuss here on the show. So, I mean, I'm not, but it's just like I can't sit my kids down to watch this because it's F shit piss, every 5 seconds. And I don't know if the comics were like that. I thought Daredevil was a little bit more cleaner of a
No,
character than that, but
well, yeah, it's I will say this, it's as clean as your average comic is.
yeah,
Um I just feel like when they did the Netflix show, they pushed the envelope and made it more adult,
yeah,
darker,
yeah.
and people were expecting that when the new show came. I feel like if they had completely rebooted the character, cast new people to be
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil and Fisk and all this, then they could have gotten away with a more clean cut Daredevil. But
Yeah.
because they brought
And that,
Charlie Cox back, people were expecting a
yeah,
continuation. So
sure. That makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense, actually. You can't go from, piss fuck to golly gee, we gotta stop the kingpin. It
yes,
would be abrupt, to say the least.
that's the word for it. So
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it more than I thought I would. I went into this thinking like, oh, bored again, season two, and I I've been flipped around here. I'm interested. I still have things I'm seeing, but they are starting to show the power of the Kingpin. They tied it around. Now, this is something I don't know if I'm gonna like. Go ahead if you have something.
Well, no, I was gonna say, that was like, it was funny how we had said it, like, well, are they really gonna show his power? And then he's sparring with the guy because he's gonna do some kind of fight, and then he gets bad news about the wharf, and so the the trainer says something and he hits him so hard he goes flying and breaks a mirror and probably died. So like that was kind of cool. Like that was showing, like you had said, that it's all muscle. So
the only thing I don't know if I like about that scene is like kind of the anger in Kingpin. That's just from what I've seen, and most of my Kingpin shit is probably honestly from like Spider-Man, the 90s animated. But he's been in other stuff that I'm aware of, and he's just more cooler of a character than kind of the freak out there that we got before he did that to that trainer dude. But trying to be dramatic and again consistent with the other shows. So, but that's just a preference.
Yeah.
Still good.
And then we had also speculate that Heather Glenn, the psychiatrist, like who keeps seeing Muse, is she going to be Muse 2.0? And she's got the mask still in a drawer in her apartment. So
it's happening.
Like if she doesn't, it'll be a huge disappointment. Like how did you like project it so much and then it's like, nah, it didn't happen. So it's happening. It'll be
they better not somehow Muse return. Don't do that.
Find one of the aspects I'm finding interesting so far in the show is obviously Kingpin knows Matt Murdock is Daredevil. I mean, that has happened in the comics. And he is, and apparently, people close to him in his inner circle know this too. And he's choosing to keep it secret. And, and obviously, does this plan of like, oh, go on TV, say Matt Murdock's a hero, and then put missing posters out for him. So people are looking for him and there's a reward to find him so that like to make it more difficult for him to sneak around. I don't know, like, and I get it. They're creating drama for the show and but when he found out, like the whole thing in the comics, he finds out he's Matt Murdock and he does these, and he's not the mayor at this point in the comics, he's just the Kingpin, and he does things to like destroy Matt Murdock's life, and then he goes and confronts him, and like he has to rebuild his life after that, and that's where the whole born again thing comes from, right? Where in this they're taking elements of that story, him knowing it, but I don't know, in my opinion, I'm not sure it works. The like, I know the hero's secret and I'm not going to use that to my advantage.
That is an interesting aspect of the show because I'm right there with you. Although now that we're in, near mid-season, I guess, or whatever, now that we're into the season, I am thinking about the stark contrast between season 1, where I was bored, because it was really mostly Matt Murdock courtroom stuff, which was interesting. I'm not saying it wasn't. This season, it's like all exclusively Daredevil. I mean, personally, Matt Murdock, in the public eye is gone. So anything that he does, it's in his black Daredevil suit, off grid.
Yeah.
So there is definitely contrast there, but yeah, with the born again thing, I definitely think that's going to be the aspect, the lawyer, the public persona of Matt Murdock, who's fighting injustice through being a lawyer in the justice system. That I think is what's going to be like the born again. We'll see, but and I like it. I like the action. I like the focus on Daredevil in the costume. So interesting to see where it will go.
Well,
I'm actually interested.
one analysis video I was watching, and I do feel like that's what they're doing. Is this is uh, a counterpoint to the first season? It's like
Yeah,
now he's forced to be like Matt Murdock's gone, and he's being forced to be Daredevil all the time, and he's becoming more brutal because he's
yeah,
Daredevil. And I do think you're right. Like and it's probably one of the things that is making the season a lot better, especially in your point of view, and I get that. Yeah, and then the other aspect was Bullseye. That's what it was. That was the news that he got because Cherry's in the hospital. Like he didn't die. He had a
yeah.
heart attack. He's in the hospital. He's got obviously old cop friends of his that are like hanging out at the hospital, making sure he's safe.
Mm-hmm.
And the anti-vigilante task force shows up at the hospital. Like, one of the things that got me is like, what do they think they're going to do at a hospital and not get caught? Like, that's one of the things that like bugs me about stuff like this. Like,
Yeah.
they're doing the show and they write it because they want the confrontation, and like they realize they can't do anything because there's too many people in the hospital room with them, and they leave. But in real life, if he was by himself and the hospital saw two of these guys go in there and then all of a sudden Cherry's dead, like it's
They
going to
put it
be,
together real quick.
yeah, exactly. It would in the real world, it would be put together real quick and it would be everywhere. There would be no
Yeah.
like, oh God, these guys are thugs. They are bad guys. Like, and the public would stop trusting them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was to me. But then they leave, they go in an elevator, and they're standing there, heads are exposed, and who's hiding out in the top of the elevator but
Mm-hmm.
Bullseye? And he kills both of them swiftly, drops down. The light turns blue, which is like that's Bullseye's color, it seems, for the show, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, in his full costume, and now he actually has the target
Yeah.
on his mask, so it's full comic accurate at this point. Um, so what did you think of that? And then what do you think Bullseye's end game is?
Yeah. I have no clue.
Okay.
I I'm the only version of Bullseye that I really know a whole lot about is in the Dark Avengers run
Mhm.
where he was made to be Hawkeye. Which was
Yes.
just strange because it was Hawkeye running around with like 9 millimeters and shit. He didn't use an arrow, bow and
Yeah.
arrow. But that certainly gives me no clue as to what the heck is going on. I mean, obviously, I say obviously, but he's being paid by somebody.
Well, in episode 1, he saves Matt, but he is saving him from the anti-vigilante task force. And
Right.
then in this episode or episode 2, he just kills 2 more of the task force. Like he wasn't around anywhere else to help out Matt. So like I don't think he's on Matt's side. I think he's just going against Fisk and going after
So
these
the
guys.
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. So
Makes sense.
um which also has me wondering too, right? Because Fisk built this task force from dirty cops, right? Like that they do that in season
Yeah.
1. He gets all the dirty cops to be on this task force, and they are being taken out. slowly but surely,
Yeah.
like how many people are on this task force, and like how when does it get to the point, like, and it's funny because they are starting to show that, like, they capture the one guy, Karen captures the guy. Well,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't. It's funny because they make you feel like she beat him up and captured him, but I really feel like he surrendered to her because he wanted to help them out. You
Yeah.
know, so
Uh,
he's turning on them, and there was another one that they kind of showed that was kind of starting to
yeah.
question them a little bit. So it's like, and so I'm hoping that's where they're going with this. It's like how many have to die, and how many bad things that have to happen before they all start
Yeah.
breaking ranks, and then you'll have half of them fighting the ones that are still being dirty cops.
Yeah. That was a funny scene where Daredevil is interrogating that guy.
Yes.
He's like, "You're lying, liar." He's telling the truth. Tell us, I was like, "This is hilarious." He's just
Yeah.
yelling at him for no reason. But I think that this season or this story though will help Matt, the character, come to understand though just how effective brute force can be. I know you're saying that he's being more
Yeah.
brutal, but let's face it, who's he being brutal against? Like the worst of the worst, like
Right.
dirty
Right.
cops who are like hurting innocent people. So, you're like, yeah, he's violent, but you're just like, get it. You're liking it. This is, comic book kick ass shit. So
Yeah.
love it.
Love it. Yeah. No, it's
Like this is
good.
street level shit, but I'm like, yeah, okay,
I
I'm
mean,
here.
I hope, I hope it gets, I don't know how this is going to resolve.
Yeah.
There's already rumors of a season 3, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, of course. There's no reason to not to. Like we're at least 5 seasons away from, Game of Thrones ending hatred, you know.
This is true. This is true. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's cool. I'd like, yeah, there's no need to break down the whole thing scene by scene, but yeah, we're gonna keep watching it. We hope you guys are still watching it. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. It's a lonely night here tonight because it's Easter and no
It
one's watching us.
sure is. Yep. Yep. I get it. I mean, not nobody. I mean, we got people out there just not commenting. We have no
Yes, this is
commenters.
maybe Dan Slott's watching us.
Hey, sir, how's it going? Hope you're having a good one.
um, so let's talk about the other show we both watched and caught up on. That was episode 4 or 5. Episode
I
5.
believe, yeah.
Yeah, episode 5 of Invincible. Um, when we left the show off, Eve was about to tell Mark that she's pregnant just as Alan and his father showed up to ask him to join them in the war. And of course, we pick up right as they're having the conversation. So there's no like
Mm-hmm.
they had the conversation and now we're just seeing the like they're having. So Nolan and Mark are off on the side talking, and Eve is sitting with Alan, and they're chit chatting, and of course, basically, I mean, it makes sense, right? The concept here is, Nolan asks him to join the resistance or whatever they're going to call themselves in the to help out, but in the long run, it makes sense for Mark to help because not because he wants to help his father, but because he knows eventually the Viltrumites will come to Earth if they win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
for snoo. Yeah.
yes, for snoo. You know. Um so yeah, I mean, do you agree with the with the anti snoo? mentality of the of Mark there,
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, because they know, judging by every Viltrumite they've ever met besides themselves, that like there's no like, hey, okay, I get it. So easy peasy, come live on Earth peacefully, and yeah, you could no problem. This could probably work out. But Viltrumites aren't cool like that. They're just, they're gonna wreck shit, and they don't want that. And
Yeah.
if I was an Earthling living in that Earth, which that would be horrible, but if I was, I would be like, yeah, that would be great if you could get rid of those guys. So I get all of that. I do. I even like Oliver's plea. Like I totally get where he's coming from. Like I get both sides of that. Like, yeah, you should just stay here, maybe protect the earth or something. But he's like, I couldn't protect my home, so I'm gonna protect this. So some cool character development from Oliver there, as foolish as it may be, judging by how the episode almost progresses. So
If a female Viltrumite tried to force you to impregnate her, you couldn't do much, could you?
no, probably not. Because I'm married.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
And that's
I meant like you couldn't stop her from forcing you down, and
well, no, if it's a Viltrum, what are you gonna do?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to, honey. She would have ripped my head off otherwise.
I had to, honey, or else she was just gonna rip my nutsack off and do the thing, So
exactly. So it's these are the important considerations in having Schnoo with the Viltrumite.
It's species that are exponentially stronger. Yeah.
I guess like the whole episode is them having conversations and getting ready. Well, the first half of the episode and getting ready to, preparing themselves to go fight this war. Of course, Nolan goes and decides to visit I can't think of the character's name, Mark's mom.
Oh, I forget that name too, but yeah, Mark's mom. Whatever.
Which was stupid.
I want to say Debbie. Is Debbie? I don't know. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Let's be honest, it was a dumb move, like on so many levels. Obviously she wants nothing to do with him, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he expected her to want him back or whatever, but if I were in, Nolan's shoes, I would at least want to say, hey, like, yeah, there's no, redemption here. I guess that's where he went wrong. He should be like this. Yeah, you're right. Shithead number one, all day, every day. Gotcha.
Right.
But just know, like, yeah, I spent hundreds of years as a Viltrumite, 20 years with you, and now I want to save the earth. So just know that's what I'm gonna till my dying breath try to save the earth. So
you're right. It is Debbie.
Okay, nice. So yeah, and then I would at least, but hey, I'm here taking responsibility. This is what I'm gonna do. Everything you're feeling and want to do right now, totally justified. Absolutely okay. Peace.
It's so here's the thing, right? It's this whole there's this whole theme of like he wants to say he's sorry, and it's like, well, do you want to say you're sorry because you really want to atone for what you've done, or is this just so you feel better? Is you're doing it for selfish reasons, so you feel better about yourself? Which is funny because it's something you could analyze anytime you want to apologize for something. But then the other side of the coin is he doesn't go to see Oliver, his other son.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah, that was a dick move.
Right. And then of course when Mark and his mom have the conversation and Oliver's there, he's like, well, I'm going too. This is my planet as well. And I couldn't save my natural, my biological mother, so I'm gonna save my adoptive mother,
Yeah.
Which I get, I don't think it's wrong though for them to say, like, they tried to turn this, no, you need to stay here to protect the earth. And he was like, don't give me that. And it's like, no, but that is true. Like, you would then be the strongest being on the planet. You should stay behind to protect it.
Yeah.
Because what if they fail? You might not be able to stop the Viltrumites, but maybe you'll be able to work with people and slow them down a little or something. Um, so yeah, but he decides to go with them. Um, and okay, so I'm going to also flash back to the conversation from last week. I'm not happy with where I feel like something's going on the show. And of course, she was about to tell him and she didn't. And he showed up. And then I'm like, okay, they're just going to ignore the subject now. No. Then they're in bed together, ready to go to sleep. And he's like, oh, you were going to tell me something. And she's like, oh, it wasn't important. It doesn't seem as like it was important at this point. I was like,
Yeah.
no, bitch. Like,
Oh,
and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that's something too that just bugs me. It's like, it's his child. He's got a right to know, especially before he goes off to war. You know?
listen,
Um,
man, they did it in Andor with that character. Bix was her name or some shit.
yeah, well that was
Uh,
bullshit too.
you
It's
know, I mean,
always bullshit.
the big A was not involved in that one, but listen, that is I don't know, that's a
That
thing.
know what I say to that?
Not saying
No.
I'm a fan, but yeah, I mean that is part of her character development. I don't know what to tell you, but at least they didn't have to deal with it. So we're one
Yeah.
week safe from the big A.
Yes. Yes, you're right. Yes. I'm happy about that.
Unless, of course, she was just like, he's going off to war. Screw it. He doesn't need any of this anyway. So I'm just going to do
So
it. Never tell him. And only my gay friend will know. But that doesn't seem like a likely choice, or at least not a smart one. We'll see.
and then they also go off and get another character. Um and I can't remember her name, but she's basically
Tech jacket. Tech jacket.
Tech Jacket. Well, that's the hero's name. I meant the character's name. She's,
Oh, please. Yeah.
an Iron Man ripoff, basically. I don't remember her being in previous seasons. Was she?
Nope. That's the first introduction. Also, uh, sex swap. It's a male in the comics. So,
Oh,
which
okay.
this show has done that several times, and deliberately to include more females and people of color. Like they're just saying, no, we're doing that. We think this makes it more modern, which is fine. I didn't read the comics, so great.
Yeah, no, I
But yeah,
that is definitely something I agree with that concept too, and the fact that, like, I didn't read the comics either, so, like, if they gender swap or race swap a character, I have no idea, and I don't really, it doesn't affect me, you know?
yeah.
Um, though I do think it's weird because she's definitely an Iron Man ripoff, so,
Oh yeah,
um,
all day, all day.
yeah. Hey, Frosty! Happy Easter to you too, sir.
Yeah, well,
Um,
yeah, I like it. Happy Easter, true believers. So,
um,
hey,
so I was saying is, what was that? Yeah, so, yeah, like, it's weird because they talk about her like whatever weapon she has can work against the Viltrumites, but they've never shown her before. Where it's just like that. I don't know. It just seems like a weird misstep. Um, but obviously, again, definitely an Iron Man ripoff. She has a guy in the chair that's her dad, which I also
yeah,
find strange that he's like, yeah, 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 you go fight in an alien war against the most powerful beings, against a planet full of supermen. Go for it, hun. It'll be great.
this universe, not full of sane people. A lot of people
Not, not at all.
very
If that was
batshit crazy.
If that was my daughter, I'd be like, no, she's rescue. There you go. Yeah. I was gonna say Riri, but yeah, she's rescue. So yeah, it's just like and then of course they all go up to the Star Trek Enterprise ripoff ship
The
to
Venture
take the Venture to take their
instead of the
trip to
Enterprise.
the next location.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's this like weird stuff with Nolan kind of making an effort to connect with Oliver, but Oliver's got wants nothing to do with it, blah 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 blah. Which kind of like it's one of those things I'm watching it and I'm like, are they trying to make us feel sympathetic towards Nolan now? The guy who destroyed
Oh, I
Chicago and didn't
definitely, yeah. I think
it's not
that
working
they're
on me.
well,
Good.
I think that's a personal thing though. I think yeah, each one of us kind of has to look at it. I don't know that I am sympathetic to forgiving him, but I do understand his position. Now that the Scourge virus thing happened, like absolutely they're trying to, have us give Nolan some sympathy. But at the same time though, they do also themselves the show, keep bringing up Chicago and all this shit you did.
Yeah.
Like, he went to the guy that made costumes and was talking about like, yeah,
Right.
maybe you can make me a costume. And he's like, I only make costumes for heroes, you
Right. Right.
know. So yeah, I think they are though. I think ultimately they're at least trying to sell us the redemption here
Yeah.
of Nolan. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And they're like this episode, I feel like they're really trying to push that hard at us, like that whole art scene, you know. Yeah, he sits down with Art, has a drink with them. They're talking about the good old days, and then when he says, "Oh, make me maybe you can make me a costume," he's like, "Well, I closed your account." It's like, "Oh, why?" "Well, I only do costumes for heroes." It's just like,
Yeah.
and they have you like there's that pause, and they make Nolan look sad, and it's like, oh, really? Um, most of us forgive Darth Vader. Do we? I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
no, I think the general masses do forgive Darth Vader. Absolutely. They forgive him because he's cool. You don't forgive the dorky villain that you don't like. But the cool villain, you're like, oh, I forgive this guy. Let him on the team. Let's work with him now.
you don't forgive the dorky villain.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
That's right. Superheroes speak with a laugh track now. True Don. So yeah. Uh and then of course, the ship gets attacked while they're flying through space by a Viltrumite ship. And of course, I want to call him Devastator. Not
Conquest?
Devastator. What's Conquest? And two other Viltrumites are there, and they start
Yeah.
fighting and
Mm-hmm. I
big
did not
long fight.
expect this. Oh, yeah. Well, big, long fight. But, I mean, again, I did not expect that. So there's got to be a mole or something amiss here, and I guess I'll talk about that more when we get to Thaddeus and all that. So I know it was funny you talk about the Star Trek ship, like they even did the separating thing where they had to separate
Yes.
part of the ship from the rest.
Separate the bridge from the rest of the ship.
Which, by the way, the back of that ship is totally a Venator class Star Destroyer from Star Wars, by the way.
Oh, and that's the thing too, right? The core was breached, and it's going to, like, that happened in every other episode in Star Trek. You know, there was there's going to be a core meltdown. We have to separate.
Yeah. Which I you know what, I enjoyed that as a kid, though. I just thought it was cool. But yeah, so Conquest, these other two Viltrumites, they're fighting, all the capable people, Nolan, Mark, Alan, Tech Jacket, and Oliver. Oliver, so I was confused with the whole breathing thing, because Nolan at one point grabs Oliver and says, "Do you need to breathe?" He's like, "Yep." So he throws him down to the planet.
Right.
Up until this point, I guess I didn't think Viltrumites needed to breathe. Apparently, they could just breathe a really long time.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny because they've explained that's how Superman also travels in space. Like, he can just hold his breath for, almost forever, basically. So
yeah, I guess so, because I know Conquest just fucking flew from Earth naked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Oliver must have got the air knocked out of him. I don't know. But Conquest immediately sees that Oliver is separated from the bunch and goes after him. Mark,
and
go ahead.
That's also one of those, things of convenience where, there's a planet right there that has breathable air on it. So
yeah,
I'm going to toss you that direction. Look who's here. Thrawn. Larson's were the guardians of peace in the old Republic before the dark times, before the Brie Larson. Anyway, I'm sorry, before the Empire. Yeah, so he throws him to the planet, you were saying.
Conquest, goes after Oliver because he wants Mark to watch him kill Oliver. Mark intercedes, and they have this whole fucking brutal fight. But I don't know how. Well, no, it was a brutal fight, but Mark just decides, I'm going to choke Conquest to death. And I'm like, does that even fucking work? Like, he's going to be alive forever still. But somehow it works out. However, not before Conquest takes one of his hands.
Yeah, like that really bothered me. Go ahead.
So, not before Conquest takes one of his hands, punctures Mark's torso. Mark's got
all the way through
his torso, all the way through. And then as Mark is choking him and Conquest is like dying, he's like pulling Mark's fucking guy. It looks like he pulled out 90 feet of intestines.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, how the fuck? Mark survives, obviously. You know that because, the show, it's a show. But geez, how?
And that's the thing. It's like, there is no way he would survive that. I don't care.
I looked into it. Okay. The specific thing that I guess makes this possible in this universe is that, yes, he is a Viltrumite. Viltrumite's organs will work outside of the body, are just as tough as the outside of the body.
But he's
as soon as a Viltrumite is damaged, which makes him stronger, and I know why. At least I think I know why. But yes, that body starts to repair itself as soon as shit goes awry. So yeah, it's crazy, but a Viltrumite can fucking survive you pulling his goddamn guts out.
It doesn't make any sense.
But Dave, buddy, you can't do that. Remember, we got, Star Wars, my favorite, right? We got lightsaber, space wizard, shit like that. It's just,
it was
kind of thing.
It was too extreme. Like, they didn't need to go that far with it.
It was, yeah, you're right. They went
like,
if
he just punched it through him and then he like fell, you'd be like, oh, he's dead. Like, the fact that they had show his guts coming out of him, it's just like, there's no way to survive that, so
gonna happen.
Yeah, but that would also, then you could also argue if Mark crushed his windpipe and killed him, well, his windpipe could fix itself and it'll come back to life anyway. So
yeah, I really don't understand that part at all. The whole breathing thing
because then there's an argument there is no way to kill a Viltrumite, other than the Scourge virus, I guess. So I don't know.
So speaking of the Scourge virus,
okay.
So when that ship blows up and separates, everybody that wasn't superhuman and able to fight Viltrumites goes. So Alan Alien's girlfriend, the new captain of the Venture, goes to Thaddeus, and Thaddeus like, hey, yeah, you're right, you couldn't have fought him. I think Thaddeus wants Nolan or these people die. I think that he is going to use the Scourge virus again, or at least will attempt to. So something's going on there. And how the Viltrumites know where they were anyway? How did Conquest, there's some sort of, some sort of spying going on.
Yeah, I that's my question, right? Like, I agree. How did they know they were on this ship? Like, that doesn't make any sense. They attacked this ship because they knew Mark and Nolan were on there. Like, in my opinion, that's the only thing, and especially because it was Conquest, So it's like there is a mole. Somebody is leaking information.
I think it's the girlfriend. Ron Kill says, hey, Darth Maul is on like his 4th show after being cut in half, and all he had was the Force. This is absolutely true.
Yeah, but he had spider legs at one point.
He did. He had mechanical trash spider legs that the Force just kind of made happen.
And then Alan and Tech Jacket are hiding on the Viltrumite ship, or on the outside of the Viltrumite ship, in a pod that she's able to create with her nanotech, basically nanotech suit. Obviously, again, Iron Man ripoff. And it's like, oh, I saw this in a movie once. So, Star Wars reference. Falcon hiding on the Star Destroyer.
Listen, man, Star Wars is to sci-fi what Lord of the Rings is to fantasy, man. It just, I mean, maybe not technically. Okay, technically, I guess that is kind of Star Trek.
Yeah.
But anywho, or maybe Dune. I don't know. But to me, in my life, and pop culture in general, they have dubbed Star Wars what they will branch every reference from.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
So they're all separated now. So it's that.
Yeah.
And Mark looks like he's dead, but of course the show's not over yet. There's 3 more episodes, and it's called Invincible. And the comic is still ongoing, so he's not dead. But let's pretend for a minute it looks like he's, it's the all hope is lost dark half of the show, how these things work. So yeah, I it's brutal. It's nonstop. Poor Mark doesn't get any time to relax. Oliver, and Tech Jacket seem like they might have a thing going, but
yeah,
not now. Poor Oliver can't get some schnoo. So yeah. 3 more episodes, right? I think it's 8 episodes total.
I think so.
So
yeah, we have a lot of shows and stuff going on at the same time.
Yeah. We got the Darth Maul show coming out soon, right?
Oh yes, coming out soon. That is tomorrow. And I think I'm gonna at least want to do a small video, small, quick, spoiler-free review. I don't know. I'll talk to you about it, but yeah.
So we got that's
great
Invincible so far. Are you guys watching it? What do you think of it? Again, let us know in the comments down below. And now, speaking of Star Wars, let's have our good friend Darth Don tell us where you can find more superhero speak.
Darth Don here. And you must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gun dog named Brie Lawson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
That was such a moving performance. I didn't mention this at the top of the show, but we are fast approaching 100,000 subs. We're like 5,500 away. So again, if you're watching this after the fact, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, click that bell for notifications so you don't miss us when we go here live on Sunday nights and Wednesdays. All right. And on that note, it is time for Thrawn says, I want Grogu to get spider legs. Yes. Yes, because he moves too slow.
That would be creepy.
A+
on that transition though, Dave. That is great. Good job.
Let's talk, man. We're like an hour in and we got a lot to get to still. So let's get to the news. First and foremost, this is the big breaking story for Superhero Speak. Last week we talked about Dan Slott was on of course the Word Balloon podcast. He apparently had comments to make about how did we say this? He was coming off like he was begging people to go out and buy Spider-Man book, because we did find out that Marvel has a rule that if the first 3 books don't sell well, they will cancel the title out, and so they need to pre-order the books so that they can have this. Well, lo and behold, as we always do, we break. This isn't on the episode itself. We always take the episode, break it into clips throughout the week, so there's content for the people who don't watch the full live stream. They can see the clips. And lo and behold, as a total shock to us, Dan Slott actually responded on our video. Shall I read his whole statement here? What?
You sure? I mean, you can. If you think it's important.
So he says, guys, it's not about if fans like it, they'll buy more. That's not the issue here. It's that if retailers don't support the book, and number 1 and number 2 and number 3, what fans think about the story won't even matter. The book, any book, will be over before fans, I'm stressing the words he capitalized, fans have had a chance to chime in with their opinions, good or bad. If you watch the entire talk from the section of the Word Balloon podcast in context, I'm not asking everyone to buy the book. What I'm asking is for people who already know what they're going to buy, know that they're going to buy the book because they like my work on Spider-Man. I'm asking them to please put this title on their pull list instead of waiting, hoping to buy it off the rack. By having people who were already going to buy the book already going to buy the book, yeah, that's in capitals, to put it on their retailer's poll list, the retailer would count this as a guaranteed sale, and that could get the retailer to have more than faith in the title and up to their orders on number 2 and number 3. Those two issues help set the sales trajectory of a title. Having strong issue number 2 and issue number 3 can early one put a new title on a healthier place, and once it's in that place, that's when readers have the opportunity to react. Hopefully the team have put out a good title, and from that point on, reorder reaction and retailer faith have taken over to ensure that the title is around for a good long time. That's what that section of the podcast was about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I accept the correction, I guess, which is he wasn't begging readers. He was begging readers that were already going to buy the book in retailers to put it on their pull list to order more of those books. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. I still stand by my original statement. If the book is phenomenal, the word of mouth is as soon as that book hits the shelves, the word of mouth is going to spread, and people are going to run out and go and start looking for it at the store. And then once the retailers have people going into the store and saying, "Hey, you've got book 1 of Spectacular Spider-Man. I hear it's amazing. I want to read it. Oh, we're sold out. I guess we have to order more." And that is what's going to do it.
Right. Yes, him refuting that, because absolutely great. It didn't sell well, but word of mouth got around. All of a sudden, this 5-issue series is super popular. They're demanding 11th printings of it. There's no way they're not going to make more than that. So,
right.
Well, I absolutely agree.
Hold on. Let me also continue here, because I did respond, and I feel like that I was gracious in my response. I said, "Thank you very much for your reply. We appreciate your point of I said I meant view, and it says point of ire. I apologize. It must have been autocorrect. Your point of view and the information. This really is in a lot of ways is a failure of the publishers, but some of it still falls on the writers, artists for not pushing back against bad ideas. We will discuss your response on the next episode, but maybe sometime in the future, you can come on the show and discuss the situation. Thanks." To which he responded, "Just want to gently put a thought out there, because I've been a fan all my life, well, since I was 8, and I've been in the industry and seen how things work on the other side of the curtain for 37 years. And those or so of those, and 20 years of those, as someone who's been to multiple editorial summits a year. No company sets out to fail. Every comic book company is putting their best foot forward." I call bullshit on that. "And trying to keep what's working, fix what isn't working, and seeking out what's the next big thing it's going to be. Every creator and editor trying to put out good ideas. I honestly believe if a fan reader were granted a magic wish and they were suddenly running the show and pushing back against what they perceive to be bad ideas and prompting all of their good ideas, that there'd be an equal number of fans at alternate reality who'd be frustrated at that publisher's bad ideas, wishing the publisher would listen to them." To which I responded, "Thanks again. Here's my email if you want to come on the show." Because, and of course, I have yet to receive an email from Mr. Slott. How do I say this? I said it when we did the show last week. I'm going to say it again. No, they got more concerned with gimmicks to sell books than with good stories to sell books, unfortunately. And And unfortunately, it worked for a while. It's not working anymore. And $5 a book, too many titles, too many books coming out a month to read. It's too much. So if you want it to work, you've got to knock it out of the park with the story. And again, if you give us a number one that's like, oh my god, this is amazing, then people are going to rush there. But here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because you said it right, like, oh, so you're making an appeal to the retailers to buy more, to order the book. They're only going to order the book if they perceive people want it. So you are appealing to the audience, and to sit there and say, I'm only appealing to the people I know that's going to read my book. Sorry, tickle my throat. They don't know they're going to read your book yet. Sure, there's people who like the stuff that you've written,
Yeah.
there are people that love the superior Spider-Man books. There's people that love a lot of the stuff that you've written. There's people that don't like some of the stuff you've written. So, and again, there are people that are just turned off by comics in general right now because of all the stuff in the industry. So yeah, it doesn't work, and it doesn't work going on to a podcast like that and doing that, because people are not. It's just like, again, it came the way that it came off, regardless of what your intent was, and sitting there and saying, if we watched the whole segment, we would have got no. We watched the whole segment. That's the vibe I got was, you're like, oh, you got to go read my book, because if you don't, it's going to get canceled. That was the vibe. So it's like, I get what you're saying, and I'm sympathetic to your plight, but again, like, you know, here's a great example again related to Spider-Man. How many people are still upset that they've erased Peter and Mary Jane's relationship in the comics? Like,
Yeah.
most Spider-Man fans hate it,
It should be everybody. Yeah.
you know? And so it's like, and again, that was such a stupid move, because they thought, oh, if we reset Spider-Man back to square one, we'll get new fans and blah. No, it didn't work. It didn't work. Admit it didn't work, and fix the problem. Like, and the fact that they keep teasing they might get back together, and then something happens and they don't, like, it's pissing fans off. But so people are turned off by what is being done in the books, and that's big. And that falls a lot on the publishers and the editors and their decisions to do this stuff, and so the writers need to push back and say, like, no, this is a good idea. I know fans that are going to love this. Let me do it. I guarantee you're going to sit there and say, oh, I've been to editor and publisher conferences and blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. Like, when it's a bad idea when you see it coming, like,
Yeah.
what you write, and people reply to you and say, oh, wow, that was great. And then, stuff that you write and people come back like, that wasn't so good. Like, this. If you've gone to cons and you've talked to your fans, this. There's stuff that you've written that they didn't like, and I guarantee there have been fans that have told you that. If they haven't told you in your face at cons, they've told you online, they've told you in letters, whatever. So, take a little bit of responsibility and stop trying to say, because it's coming off as you're blaming the retailers and the fans for the books not selling, not the publishers and the writers. So
Right. That's where my pushback comes from. Even if I say, okay, you weren't begging, you are just asking retailers and people that are already going to buy to do this. But even that, you are still trying to have the retailer and the consumer take the risk. And I know several comic book store owners. None of them are rich. They work on very small margins. So they really have to be conservative with what they order. Uh, and I'm sure a Spider-Man title, they're probably not as conservative as they are with a lot of other titles. So I mean, you're getting that boost. But I just don't think it's good to ask people that are in that position to take that risk that you're trying to mitigate onto them just so that you can continue on with the series.
Yeah.
I don't think that, again, stand on your work. If it's popular, it's going to get continued. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause that's like, even in the response, he doesn't sit there and say like, I know this is a great story. I worked really hard on it.
Right.
He can't.
That you could respect that if he comes out and he says, all right, retailers, listen, this is what you're going to want to do. This is going to be a great story. You're going to want to order some extras. If you're already going to buy this book, you better go pre-order 3. If you're not buying this book, you need to buy it. Okay. Now, again, you're still selling the book, and you may actually make the retailer buy extra and they get stuck with. It's still a possibility, but I can at least respect you saying, hey, I'm selling my craft here.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, that is, this will be another clip. Let's see if he responds to our response. But that's how these things go sometimes.
I think it depends on how you name it.
And hey, what was it? What did I say? The Word Balloon podcast. Like, how many do they have? How many subs? I wanna look. Hold on. Keep going.
I've honestly never heard of them up until this point. So
I had heard of them.
Not a lot.
I had heard of them. What you call it? As an audio podcast. I didn't realize that they had a video podcast until I saw this. And I want to see something real quick. Oh, sorry. Hold on. One more thing. So because I'm gonna take a little dig here. If I remember correctly, they have 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're approaching 100,000 there, Dan. So if you want to reach an actual audience on your message, you should come on here. I'm leaving it at that.
Well, I would love to talk to him. I have a lot of respect for him. Yeah. See, Thronkill says,
title: Dan Slott is nobody's slut.
There you go.
All right. Let's get off this nonsense. And move on to our next story. So the current rumor is, we talked about Daredevil. The current rumor going on now is that there is going to be a Daredevil season 3, and then at the end of season 3, he'll get his own movie. And there's a the part of the rumor is that, and Spider-Man will be featured in that movie. Because apparently that is something the fans want, is a Daredevil Spider-Man team up. I mean, they've teamed up so many times in the comics. It's a what you call it, like a classic friendship. There's Johnny Storm and Peter, and there's Daredevil and Spider-Man, so many like great team ups with those guys that they haven't touched on it yet. Like, I'm hoping in Doomsday Spider-Man and Johnny Storm meet up, and team up some way, because like, you have all these characters that in the comics have very famous team ups. So is that something you would like? Do you think there's any truth to this rumor, and is it something you would like?
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to the rumor. Definitely sounds like something that they would try to pull off. I think it would be great. Now, I'm always worried about the fact, though, that Sony controls Spider-Man, so anything could happen to all of a sudden sour that relationship, and then boom, that's not happening. Like, I completely agree with you. There's some great team ups. Marvel has a couple of characters, Spider-Man being one of them, that do tour de force of team ups. Wolverine's another one.
Yeah.
Where Wolverine's an X-Men, he's an X-Force, he's an Alpha Flight, he's an Avenger, he's teamed up with Captain America, he's teamed up with so many people, even outside of the X-Men. Captain America, he's did various team ups, but honestly, Spider-Man and Wolverine are to me like the top two team up characters in Marvel for sure. And yeah, I would love to see that. I can't think of anything bad about it. And let's face it, the golden age of superhero cinema is past us. So we're gonna have to do some cool stuff outside the X-Men. That's gonna be great.
I mean, it's funny when you say that about Wolverine, it cuts me to the core that we only got the fastball special as like halfway done in X2. I mean, it's a shame.
X3, but that's okay.
Was it X3?
Yes, it was. Colossus was only in X2 for a brief moment. Very cool scene though, where like they're shooting at him and he click, 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 and then yeah, I know it's like I still think about that moment to this day. Like when I'm in the theater, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, yeah, and then Wolverine's like, go help the kids, and then Colossus like, what? I can help, and he's like, no, help them, and then he walks away. I'm like, son of a bitch. I mean, that's so on brand for Colossus, but shit. Anyway, but
yeah, so yeah, I hope it's true. I mean, I want to see them team up before that. Like,
sure.
Come on. Doomsday or Secret Wars. Come on, guys. Don't leave Daredevil.
I like team ups.
Yeah.
The first issue of the Secret Wars, the 2008 one that this is loosely based off of. The first issue actually has Colossus fastball specialing the Hulk up to a spaceship, so the Hulk can destroy it. Was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you how strong Colossus is. Okay, again, I said, fastball special the Hulk. It means he picked the Hulk up one fucking hand and threw him up in the space, basically. So
yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest here. Marvel Team Up was a book for a long time.
Sure, yeah,
in Marvel, where like they teamed up a lot of heroes.
Oh yeah,
because people love them. Let's keep it going, Marvel. The MCU needs more team up shots. All right.
Hell, you see what happened with Wolverine and Deadpool. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Let's move across the aisle to DC now. Before we get to the Supergirl stuff. Apparently the working title for Batman 2 was released, which is Semper Vigilans. It's a Latin phrase. I'm
okay.
I can't speak Latin, which
only the pig version here.
Which roughly translates to either always vigilant or ever watching.
Okay, cool.
Which has led many to speculate that means that the villains in the Batman Part 2 is going to be the Court of Owls.
Okay.
Which they hint. I'm pretty sure they hinted at the Court of Owls in the first one. So
wasn't there like a mask or some shit?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think the mask was in it. Which is like, okay, but then you also teased the Joker at the end of the movie as well.
Yeah.
Where they put the poor guy in full prosthetics as well for it, and barely showed his face. But I digress.
But it was cut from the actual cinema version, so I'm just throwing this out there. They could cut that completely. I kind of think they should, because apparently Mark Hamill's going to have something to do with the next Batman movie, and that is really going to creep in my crawl if that's true and he's not the Joker.
He's a little old to play a live action Joker.
Really? Well, how old was Jack Nicholson
when they did Batman and when they did the Batman?
I don't think he's. Who knows? It doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't think he's. I think with today's technology, it can be done. Because we don't need the Joker to do like action set pieces, you know. If he lost some weight, he'd be good.
Nah, I'm
All
sorry.
right.
I respectfully disagree. And you know, I got to look it up now. Now I'm curious. Jack Nicholson was born in 1955. So in 1985, he would have been 30. So he was only what, 34?
Wow, I thought he was way older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was only 34 in 89 when that movie came out. And yeah, we all know that Mark Hamill is in his 60s, so probably not going to work. Or since he's in his 70s yet. How old is Mark Hamill?
I don't know, but
you're the Star Wars guy. You should know this off the top of your head. How old all the actors are, and if they're still alive or not. He is 70,
I got the alive 70. Go ahead.
He is 74 years old. Whew. So, and you're right, though. They could just completely forget that even
Just
happened.
his voice, though. You know, take his voice. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I will be honest. The Court of Owls run in the Batman comics is one of the best written books out there. But I also feel like Court of Owls works because it is this idea that you have this established Batman who's been around forever, and you find out there's this secret society that even he didn't know about that has been secretly running Gotham for 100+ years, and that his father was involved with it, and it's this like really cool mystery that he's trying to figure out, and then they have this assassin called the Talon that they send out to go after him, and like, so that's cool, but does that work on the second movie in a new franchise? But I'm also like,
what if it's a franchise they might want to sunset? Like,
yeah,
because they need not two Batmans.
I can see Thrawn is on the same wavelength as me. It should be like the fourth movie. It's too not this early. I agree, but I'm also like sunset it. Like I'm kind. It feels like it's been so long since the Batman came out. They're not even filming the sequel yet. I'm kind of over it already. Like, yeah, it was a cool movie and all, but like it's losing steam that quick. I mean, when did it come out?
Bored the shit out of me. I did not. That movie bored me.
Was it 4 years ago? At this point,
at least.
Well, I was dating Karen, and we've been dating for 4.5 years now. What year did it come out? Let's see. It was release date is 2022. 4 years. So, yeah. That Thrawn beat me to it. 2022. Yeah. So it's a 4-year-old movie at this point, and they're not even filming the sequel yet. And in today's world, people don't want to wait that long in between movies. So
right. In today's world, people are not thinking about, boy, I sure do hope that the Batman story, I can't, they're going to forget about it.
Especially if it's not related to the DCU. No one cares.
But
people
the only thing is the Penguin, though, did well.
Yeah, it did. And I feel like that's another thing that they're doing. It's this idea of like, okay, well, we'll put a movie out, and then we'll put something on streaming, and then we'll put a movie out. We'll put the thing on streaming to keep you interested in the universe, and it's just like, or you could put 2 movies out a year, and keep us interested, and not worry about producing these shows that like only half the audience, even if half, are gonna watch.
They gotta sell the streaming service.
I think streaming's gonna die. I really do. I'm more and more. It's like these companies all wanted their own streaming service and thought, oh, this is the future, and there's too many, and people aren't subscribing to them anymore.
Yeah, no, they're definitely all gonna like Voltron together and charge like $40 here soon. Sure.
Yeah, you're gonna get a, like it worked when it was Netflix and everything was just on Netflix.
Yeah.
This idea that like, oh well, no, we're gonna have our properties here and our properties here and our, like it's gonna die. It doesn't work. The model doesn't work. There's people. Oh God, I listened to this one podcast, and first off, they still buy physical media and talk about that all the time and how they get upset when things aren't coming out. Like, really? It's 2026. No one wants physical media anymore.
No one wants to dedicate portions of their living space
exactly
to movies,
And then but then the other thing is they also then talk about like, oh, I can't wait for the day where I just like stream movies at home. I don't have to go to the theater anymore. And it's like that model isn't going to work unless they're charging you $20 to watch a movie at home, right? Like every time. Like it's not going to be
right.
It's not a subscription model is not going to support these blockbuster movies anymore. Like that just isn't going to happen. If they're going to do it, it's going to have to be like open to everyone. You can even be a non-subscriber. So like, let's say Fandango would be the place to do it, and you pay $20 to Fandango to be able to stream it at home for 24 hours. But other than that, like no, like that model will never work. So not with the money that they put into these movies. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I kind of want another Patterson movie, but I'm a little over it.
Yeah, I was over it very quickly.
Yeah, you said it was boring. I agree. There's a lot of that movie was boring. My girlfriend made fun of the fact that he like walked in slow motion every time he came on screen.
Yeah.
So the Supergirl, let's jump then from Batman to Supergirl. The Supergirl trailer came out. So let's first talk about the trailer. I'm not going to show anything because I don't want to get copyright struck on this. But what did you think of this trailer?
I think that watching the movie is going to be a bit of a chore for me.
Okay.
I think the one positive about the movie is that we'll get to see the DCU develop a little bit.
Yeah.
I ultimately think that this is somewhat of a missed opportunity. I really don't like the James Gunnification of this movie, and I say that a lot, but it happens a lot. I have daughters. I have 2 young daughters, and they are somewhat into superheroes. But this is like a crappy version of Supergirl, and I just really don't like it. And I don't want to take my girls, I don't want them to latch on that character. And I don't think they will. They don't care about it at all. I took them to see Superman. So they're aware. And they're going to make it in this movie so that she's like trying to save crypto or something.
So obviously that definitely, you can feel the theme. It was in the first teaser. It's in this trailer. She's, the opposite of Clark in a lot of ways. She's like depressed and upset because of Krypton is destroyed. There's a line in the beginning of the trailer of like, "Oh, I'm worried about you, Kara. You're not going to find your people." And her response is, "Well, that's just the thing, Clark. I have no people." When, like, first off, if you're Clark, that's the most insulting thing she could say to him, because at least he's her people,
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to sit there and say my planet's gone and everyone's dead, but no, your cousin's right. You're talking to your cousin, you're both from the same planet. But yeah, so then it's like, oh, they John Wicked it. It's like, here's Crypto. Oh, he gets poisoned by some
Right.
aliens who are trying to steal from them. And the premise is obviously he's got 3 days and she's got to find the cure on one of these aliens for Crypto. It's like, so it's not a revenge film. It's not Crypto died and she's going to go take revenge on the aliens. It's she's got to go find the cure. Okay, so you John Wicked it. Okay, fine. If you feel like that's going to make it more sympathetic, and then
Yeah.
and then the other thing, my other takeaway from this trailer is Jason Momoa Lobo is just in that bar scene. That fight the bar, because there's no other clips of him in the trailer at all. There's clips of her
Yeah.
doing a lot of other different things, but you only see him in that bar fight. So that's it. Like, yeah, he's a cameo. He's in that one scene, and that's it. And then who knows if we'll ever get Lobo again?
I'm sure we'll get him again.
Thrawn says she gets to have her own Queen of Dragons moment with the crowd surfing. Maybe. So yeah, I agree with you. It's I feel it is going to be a little bit of a chore, just because it's like when I'm watching a Superman adjacent movie, I still want that feel, and I feel like this is, they're trying to do the complete opposite. Like, here's what would happen if Superman was bitter about losing his homeworld.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I guess, but is it a good message for girls? That's a good question, which leads into the controversy, and I say that with a question mark, around this movie that hasn't even out yet. Apparently, Millie Alcock, did an interview with what you call it, Vanity Fair, where she talked about this character. They asked her if she talked to anyone who previously played Supergirl, and she said no, which, like, some people were upset by that, and I'm like, that makes sense. Supergirl, there's been a couple actresses on TV, and what show, the Supergirl TV show, and then there was the movie in the 80s that I don't think anyone remembers.
I certainly don't.
And yeah, and there was the Supergirl from what you call it, Smallville, which she was a very minor character in a few episodes. So there really isn't a lot to draw from, and this is a different take on Supergirl, so I could see what would be the point of talking to them, about this role, if it is a unique take on the character. But she said some other things in the interview. Was like, here's the quote. They asked her, like, about the pressure of playing a hero, and she goes, "It definitely made me aware of that simply existing as a woman in that space is something that people comment on. We have become very comfortable having the weird ownership of women's bodies. I can't really stop them. I can only be myself." So that quote, it feels like, was taken and it went everywhere in what some people dubbed the manosphere on the internet, and some of these, anti-woke podcasts. I mean, we're not woke, but we're not anti-woke either. We get, where like they were jumping on it and it's like, oh look, she's already kind of making excuses that if this movie fails, it's because of men. And that was I saw so many comments and podcasts talking about it. It was like crazy. Like, which my only pushback on that comment about the ownership of bodies is it's a very feminist take on it, but B, it's like, whoa, right? Like, you can't have a fat guy play Superman, right? You and
Yeah.
I are not being called up to play to play Colossus and Wolverine and Spider-Man in the next Marvel movie. Like, it goes both ways. Like, there's an expectation on men who are playing superheroes to have a six-pack and be good looking. So,
Yeah.
like, don't just say it's only women who have to deal with this. That in today's world, that's to me complete bullshit, you know? But what did you think of that like comment?
Yeah, I think it's virtue signaling. I
Yeah.
don't think, what is control of whose ever bodies got to do with Supergirl or comic book movies. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm certainly not anti woke, but I do have a disdain for virtue signaling. Like, when it comes to doing woke stuff, like, actually do something, help somebody, help a situation.
Yeah.
Don't virtue signal about it. If you're on the internet talking about it, you're doing nothing, so you're no better than anybody else. Anywho,
That is
um,
hold on, my friend. That is the most uh in, uh, perfect analogy. If you're just on the internet talking about it, you're not helping anyone. I love that.
yep.
That should be like our theme going forward. But go ahead.
All right, well, clip it, pack it, ship it. Here we go. All right. So yeah, that's all I really thought of it. I mean, she's not completely wrong. There are pockets of society, of male society, that are like
Mhm.
Supergirl. Who gives a shit about Supergirl?
Right.
But outside of that, you don't need to bring it in. You're just virtue signaling. So I don't care. You're an actor. I don't care what your thoughts or opinions are. Really, I just want to see your work and want you to do well.
Yeah. Um and then there was another like after all of that like blew up uh I can't shoot. I thought I had long story short, she basically came out and said, like, to the people that are making these comments, shut the F up, you know?
Yeah.
So that's one of those things that bothers me. It's not like the initial comment, it's like, okay, it's a little feminist coded, it's a little virtue signaling, like, okay, fine. Um, you're a young actress in Hollywood. I guarantee you're being told all the time you gotta say stuff like this. But when people are like, "Oh my god, blah, blah, blah," you basically tell people to shut like, you're automatically gonna turn off half the audience.
Yeah.
And I think that's a terrible move for any actor. And it's, Renee Zellweger is the perfect example of this. She has been doing this in every movie she's been in. She kinda makes excuses for the movie before it even comes out, and then when people boycott it, she's like, "Oh, you guys all suck." But it doesn't work, you know? So, Hollywood really needs to learn and to stop doing this and tell these actresses and actors to do this stuff to shut up. It's funny 'cause it makes me think about I thought about this, today, and I was gonna mention it earlier, but when I was in Lancaster, right? It's again, like I said, it's farm country, it's small town, feel. We went to the grocery store. So Shady Maple is, real if you're in the area, it's a real famous, they call it a smorgasbord, but it's a buffet. Um, but it's not just that, like, it's Shady Maple Farm, so they have the buffet, they have a supermarket, they have, like, a general store,
Mhm.
and then it's all a farm, right? And the supermarket is awesome. I highly recommend it because Everything is so much cheaper there because, like, especially the meats, right? Because they're raising the animals and slaughtering them themselves. There's no third party handling fees, there's no transportation fees. It's like it's just on their farm and they prepare it and then they sell it. And so you're paying like almost half the price that you would pay in the supermarket in the city. So if you have a farm town near you and you can go to and they have a supermarket or a market attached, you should go. You're going to save money. But anyway, I digress. What I'm really getting at is what struck me is we go to check out and we're in the checkout line. And like I noticed it before, but I never really thought about it. The kid running the register, he's, early 20s, like kid is definitely the way I would describe him. And he was polite. He asked how we were, like, and when you said, "Oh, I'm doing good. How are you?" Like "Oh, I'm doing great." Like it wasn't just that like he just said it because it's a pleasantry and he says it to
Yeah.
everyone. He packed our bags, and was like careful about it, like put all the frozen stuff together, put all the what you call it, the pastries in one bag, like, and was real careful, really nice, really polite. It's like and it just makes you think about the concept of polite society and how, like, in the old days, if you were an actor and you had an opinion like that, you kept it to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because it was polite society and you were just like, "Oh, it was a difficult movie. I hope the fans like it." You know, I enjoyed playing this character. I've been a fan, you know, or even if I wasn't a fan of the comic growing up, uh, James Gunn just gave me the script that I thought was so amazing. I wanted to be part of it. Whatever. Like you do the pleasantries and you're polite about it. This world that we live in now where an actress can say, shut the fuck up to potential audience is it just blows my mind when I think about it. Like, why can't we go back? Why can't we make America great again and go back to being
Oh,
polite and actually being nice to one another? You know, am I wrong? You let me know
no,
in
you're
those
not
comments down below.
wrong.
You let me know in those comments down below. Do you want to make America great again?
Polite MAGA.
Polite MAGA. Yes, that's what it's all about, boys and girls. Um, yeah,
It's not.
I know.
It's
We
not a
just lost
red
it.
hat. It's beige. Um.
So, I mean, we're still gonna go see the movie for the podcast, but does this kind of stuff sour you before you go?
uh. It doesn't help. It doesn't
No.
help because I'm not interested in stuff like that. I'm with you. The polite society. You're an actress. You're very blessed. So why act that way? Why act this rude? Um,
Yeah.
but you know, compared to her, I am very old. And there's a lot about the new generation that I don't understand. It
Yeah.
happens. It is what it is. The old don't understand the new don't want to learn from the old, and I think that's something that we could
Nope.
get better as a society that would really help us out. That's why, as an older person, I do keep myself open to the ideas. So anytime I hear 6'7", I laugh and I say stuff like, that's mid and no cap. I try to get in with the youngins, and I think that's something a lot of people should do. And I think the youngins should listen to us old fucks just a little bit, and their life might be easier. But hey, here we are. So not a fan of it. No, sir, I didn't like it.
Frosty, this is why I love you. Well, when America was great, people got punched in the face for running their mouths. This is true. Uh, we're missing that very much. All right. Well, we are an hour and 40 minutes into this podcast, and we have yet to get to our main topic. So I think it's time that we talk about Superman. Mario Galaxy movie. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. So yeah, we both went and saw it this weekend. And we were going to give our review, but as I like to always do on this show, before we get into that, let's talk the numbers. So starting off with the box office, I'm waiting for the page to refresh here. Okay. As of this stream, domestically, it has made $190 million. Internationally, 182.4 million to $377.487 million worldwide. That is definitely a financial success. People need to keep in mind the first movie made $1 billion. So we're going to keep track and see if this matches that. Then over on the Rotten Tomatoes, this is where it gets interesting. It has a reviewer's score of 41% on the tomato meter. And on the audience score, it has an 89%. So the audience is split on this. But what I want to point out, or not the audience and the critics are split on this. The first movie, it was 59% from the tomato meter and 95% audience score. So it's the same as the last time. The critics didn't care for the movie, but the audience loved it. So, what are you going to do? And then the final thing to point out here, we did, of course, 2 polls. We did one on our YouTube and one on X. We don't do X too much anymore, so we didn't get a lot of votes over there. But on why is this?
We don't do X anymore. Boy, that meant something completely different back when in my early 20s. Anyway.
Why can't I see the? Hold on a second.
All right, we are holding.
Sorry. All right. So on X, we only got 2 votes.
Okay, so me and someone else.
And both of them said it was great. So
right. Look at that.
So there you go. On YouTube, we did the poll, and we got quite a few more votes. And we got so the options were it was great, it was okay, which is like the mid-level, and I didn't care for it. We got 29% said it was great, 14% didn't care for it. Most people, 57%, said it was okay. Which feels kind of apt.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the divide between the critics and the audience, like, yeah, that's not even noteworthy, because that's like taking like someone from Italy and then bring them over to America and taking them to a Fazoli's, which for those of you that don't have those, it's Italian fast food, and saying, "Oh, how do you like it?" They're gonna be like, "This is disgusting."
Yeah.
So who cares? This is an anti-critic movie. So
Throne says saw it Friday. He says it's a 7 out of 10, and he might have come in with the Yoshi popcorn bucket. All right, so let's start as we always do. Initial reaction, spoiler free. What did you think of the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
I thought it was fun and a little bit amusing, and I thought the fights were cool. And even though I really have not played through a Mario game, a mainline Mario game, since Super Mario World, played a little bit of Super Mario Sunshine and GameCube, but I've never missed a Mario Kart.
Okay.
Got to saw a lot of cool stuff. I mean, and you got to see that in the first movie too.
Yeah.
But they introduced another Nintendo character. Actually, I was very excited about, and I will get into that once we get spoilers. So
we definitely we're going to get into that.
Yeah, took it with the kids and the wife. They all enjoyed it. They all laughed. Will I ever see it again? Nope. But it's not high cinema.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 is about there for me. I give it 8 capes out of 10. 8 capes out of 10.
We didn't have to rate it yet. We saved that for the end.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Thrawn throws you off. I get it. He does that to people. It's funny. I've been thinking about it. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I'm wondering if I didn't like it as much as the first one because when I saw the first one, when we saw the first one, I saw it with my granddaughters, and it was the first time they went to the movies. So like they enjoyed it, so I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like to watch them sitting there like so intently watching the movie and eating their popcorn, like it's an experience. So that might have tainted it a little bit for me, in a good way. They introduced some cool little things in this movie that I don't think they did it as much in the first one, and I really appreciated them in this one. It's let's be honest, it's a video game movie. There's no like really deep storyline to it.
Right.
They introduced a couple concepts that made me question if that is actual canon. But like I didn't really care at the end of the day. Again, it's a video game movie. It's meant for kids. It's a fun animated movie, and it was a fun ride. Is everything predictable in it? Pretty much, but it was again well done. So yeah, I would say go see it if you haven't seen it. And I agree with you. Like, am I going to seek this out again to watch it? Probably not. I would seek the first one out before I would seek this one out. But if you like the first one, go see it. If you've got kids or grandkids, go take them. They'll love this movie, and there you go. So two we recommend it. That is our spoiler-free portion of the review. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, if you don't want to be spoiled, this is where you would drop. If you don't care or if you've seen it, here we go. The movie starts out with what? It starts out with you're on Rosalina's ship, for lack of a better term. Which is very much designed from the ship in Super Mario. Did you play Super Mario Galaxy at all? I guess not.
No.
Okay. Yeah. No. I played it.
I assumed they were pretty accurate with it because they were accurate with everything else that I did recognize.
And she's reading a bedtime story to the Loomies, who are the little stars that she treats like her children, and then they get attacked, and of course it's Bowser Jr., who I don't know if I've ever played any games with Bowser Jr. in it. I'm trying to remember which ones he was in. Is he the villain in Mario Paint? Because I don't think I've ever played Mario Paint.
No, he's not in Mario Paint. No, I've never played a game with him in it. I feel like I've seen him in some later ones, but I could be thinking about Mario Kart or something. Like anything I've seen him in, it's been like Mario adjacent.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's a game somewhere that he's the main guy, or at least involved.
So, and
but here's my major. Okay, so first, let me just put this out here. The story of this movie is a bunch of like coherent set pieces. The story makes no sense. A case in point, this Bowser Jr. guy somehow is able to build this huge mechanical empire and this spaceship, and they don't explain it at all. And I'm not even saying I'm expecting some sort of like explanation that makes sense. They don't give you anything. It's just here's Bowser Jr. and he's pretty much got ultimate power at this point. So
well,
that was
I mean, I find it funny because they don't mention Bowser Jr. at all in the first one.
yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Bowser's got a son, Bowser Jr. Super Mario Sunshine, by the way, is the first game he was introduced in 2002.
Okay.
And um and you're right. Yeah, like, oh, he's got this robot, he's got this ship, you know. There's no it's just like boom, you're in it. But here I have a question. Do you feel like they strongly explain those things in video games? You know, like,
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's why I'm still saying, that's why I'm not completely trashing it. I'm like, you just have to accept this is just stuff.
right, there's a lot of stuff, and and that's the thing, and that I will say that is probably the only um uh genuine critique of the movie that I kind of agree with is like it's just like you said, it's like one set piece after another set piece after another set piece that's got a very loose story that connects it, you know, um, down to the fact that like the most of the movie, Bowser's like, I'm reformed, I'm a good guy now, I want to help you, you know, and at the end, it's like, nah, I'm a bad guy, I've always been,
Well,
you know,
because, and I guess I'm not trying to get too far ahead, but like the whole story turns out to be that this Bowser Jr., again, he's got all this tech, he is able to build the fucking Death Star, powered by Rosalina, whom
yes,
during the course of the movie he is able to capture for that power. And once Bowser sees that his son, influenced by him, just built the fucking Death. I mean, they even have a trench thing on that thing. But anyway, he's like, oh yeah. I mean, this thing apparently destroy. I want to say planets, but it's more like galaxies, universe, whatever.
yeah,
I mean, when I say Death Star, I'm not fucking around. Like this little motherfucker's got a Death Star, and I couldn't get over that. I'm like, I guess in a video game I would expect some sort of explanation on how he was able to build a Death Star, but it was just up. This is what I did, Dad. Look at all this.
yeah,
But it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter with
yeah,
this movie.
yeah. So yeah, and then of course we go to um the Mushroom Kingdom. It's Peach's birthday. They're celebrating. They do this weird like Mario's got feelings for Peach, but he's not gonna tell her.
He
Like,
buys
will
your
they?
umbrella, so, on her
Yeah.
birthday. Yeah,
There's a will they, won't they? Like, I'm like, oh
yeah.
come on, we don't need that. It's a kids movie.
I
Oh wait,
do
no,
like
no,
that. Like Luigi, though, is trying to encourage him to like ask the princess
no,
out, and so that they can get together, so that he can ask her if she has a friend for him.
no. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let's back this up.
Okay.
Before the birthday, no, there's them on their speeder bikes in the desert
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The
going to
Yoshi
fix a
part.
pipe where the whole problem was Yoshi was in the pipe. Like, and that's the scene was in the trailer, if I remember correctly, like them
Yes.
finding Yoshi. And it's just like, and again, there's no explanation on what Yoshi is, why he's there. Well, there is an explanation.
He
Sorry,
somehow
kind of.
spent time in New York, and no one
Yes.
cared.
And then ended up in the warp pipe. Um,
He
you know,
really is shoehorned into it, and that is another
very much
complaint I have.
very shoehorned into the movie. And
I
then it's
mean,
just like,
Toad mentions it, so it's
and that
like,
that's one of my favorite parts in the movie. They show up at the birthday
yeah,
and they're like, who's this? And I'm like, oh, it's Yoshi. And it's just like it's very meta. Toad's just like,
yeah,
oh, so we're just finding dinosaurs and they're just part of the team now?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Like there's and it's true and it's funny because it's just like, yeah, that's it. Just we found Yoshi and here he is. Because is it which one? Where does Yoshi show up? Is it 3? Super Mario 3?
Super Mario World.
World. Okay.
Remember,
yeah.
that's why I complained the movie should be called Super Mario World.
Yes. But like
so
all of a
yeah,
sudden,
Super
like
Mario World.
there's Yoshi, and he eats things and he poops out eggs, and you know,
Like in the game, he's at least native to the land that they're in,
yeah.
and he wants to help you release the other Yoshi eggs. But in
That's
this,
right. I forgot. That is the plot. You're right.
yeah,
There is none of that in this. It's just here's Yoshi. He can eat you and poop you out in an egg.
Yep.
That's his power. Okay.
right. Which isn't which really Yoshi is one of my biggest complaints of this movie, because that's not even consistent with what he does in the game. Like he
Right.
can eat and it'll poop out, and it'll be like a 1-up, or if he eats any Koopas, depending on the color of their shell, he'll do different things. So
Yes.
he doesn't just poop you out in a shell.
No, I know, but it was funny.
But again, that's looking too much into it. But
and then of course one of the Lumas end up landing on the at the Mushroom Kingdom, and basically asks Princess Peach for help because Rosalina would tell them bedtime stories about Peach and the plumbers, which it's like, whoa, wait, how does she know about Peach and the plumbers?
yeah,
Which technically is really, again, never explained. And of course,
yeah, no, they're a legend. Well, why?
Peach decides to go off with Toad on her own to help the Luma find Rosalina, and ends up at the warp world where you can, or whatever it's called in the thing. And of course, while she's there,
Because Mario's supposed to take care of the Mushroom Kingdom, but
yes. Well, wait, yes. So while she's there, Mario and Luigi are left to take care of the Mushroom Kingdom. They show them, it's just like montage of them doing things to stop stuff and whatnot. And then yes, while she's gone, well, Bowser Jr. shows up there to get his daddy back.
Get his dad, yeah. His
reformed father. And yes, because that's the thing. This is one of the cool things that they did in the movie that I liked, because they didn't do this as much in the first one. There's a map that comes up that is like the game map from Mario World. And
yes.
as they're like doing stuff, little things pop up. They show the graphic of them go to that little world. They show the montage of them doing whatever they have to do, and then a little flag comes up. The now it's safe there, blah blah, and they're going back and forth. And then all of a sudden they show them in the throne room, and they're tired, and the map is still there. But the integration of graphics from the games into this movie
was really cool.
Yeah,
really cool. They do it several times throughout the movie.
Yes,
and it's super fun. Absolutely, one of the high points of the movie is the way they integrated the game. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then of course it's beeping, and then it's at the castle, and of course it's Bowser wants to talk to them. He wants them to give him a painting. To give a painting to Peach, blah blah blah. Then Bowser Jr. shows up. Chaos ensues. And they end up he tries to steal the castle. They're able to stop him, and the castle crash lands on a different planet. Which I thought was weird. And then Bowser basically tricks Mario into
making him big.
Him big again. But then after he makes him big, he is like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna help you guys, blah blah. And it's I can't remember which game this is from, but they're in the Bee Kingdom. There's the Queen Bee, and she's like going to prison them for being there, and crash landing their castle on the planet. And Bowser sacrifices himself. This is where it's like, this is again one of those goofy things He sacrifices himself and says, "No, take me and let these guys go and help them get to the warp point." You know, I don't know. I thought it was goofy that
I mean, it was goofy, but I think that they were just kind of in at that part of the movie trying to sell, Bowser's redemption, which again only lasts until a little bit farther into the movie.
But that was the thing. I thought, oh, he's gonna like find a way to escape after
Yeah.
Mario leaves. Like I thought that was the plot, and that would have made more sense if he like escaped and found his son, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, I tricked them and to come find you. No, it was like, no, I'm a good guy. It's like, really? I don't even remember how he gets out of the situation.
I don't either. I think it does have something to do with Bowser Jr. though.
Oh, he finds him and then he rescues. Yeah, he frees him. Yeah, that's what it is. But of course, Mario go and Luigi and Yoshi go to the I can't remember what they call it, but the warp point,
Yeah.
the space station, whatever, where all the pilots are. And but before that, Peach and Toad had found a pilot to help them. And who was that pilot?
Okay. So, well, you're referring to Star Fox, Fox McCloud.
Fox McCloud, yes.
But,
Yes.
but was it was Pete? Okay. No, I can't remember if it was Peach and Toad he helped or if it was Mario and Luigi
That was
and
Peach
Yoshi.
and Toad.
But I think you're right.
Well,
which, yes, I was ecstatic to see that. I love Star Fox. In fact, here's how much I love Star Fox, ladies and gentlemen. If you go to speedrun.com and you search up Star Fox for the Super Nintendo and you will see number 19 in the world. That's right, only 18 more people on this planet can beat Star Fox for the Super Nintendo faster than your good buddy here. I'm D square on that. There's a video there to prove it. I'm currently number 19 at 14 minutes and 26 seconds on speedrun.com. So I know Star Fox. I love Star Fox. Reminds me of Star Wars. I love it. And I loved his inclusion in this movie. So I'll get that right out of the way. I loved everything about what went down.
And I love how like they do give him a backstory where he's from a parallel universe and something happens with his like warp drive and he ends up in this universe, and just trying to figure out a way to get back home, which plays in, I think, to the end of the movie. We'll get to that, but he agrees to help them out, for a gold coin or whatever, and then Mario and Luigi and Yoshi get to the so they're all together now, and they're all going to be on the Starfox ship to go fight Bowser Jr. on Planet Bowser. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, not only is it a bunch of like fun set pieces with a loose story, it's also very quick paced. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like there's no messing around in this movie at all. Which again, I get because it's a kids movie, you can't have a long movie for kids because they're going to lose interest pretty quickly. You got to keep it moving, got to keep it exciting. But the one thing, the somewhat character development that does come through this is like there's flashbacks going on, and you kind of realize that there's a connection between Peach and Rosalina.
Yeah.
And this is the part that I'm wondering, is this canon in the games? I don't remember this in Super
if
Mario
it
Bros.
is, I would say if it is, I've never heard of it before. I think it's something for the movie only. And it's kind of cool. I mean, I'm actually surprised that this movie has not garnered the movie series in general, both this the one before this and this one, has not garnered more ire for being too female centric. Because to say that this movie focuses on Mario or Luigi, I don't really, and I don't think the first. I think really this is more like the first one was Peach's movie. The second one is like a Peach and Rosalina. Spoiler alert! Did you watch the end credits scene? There was like a mid and end credits. Did you watch it?
I watched the mid credits,
Okay.
but I had to go to the bathroom quickly,
I get it. I get it. Okay.
so I
So I
did
mean, I
not.
won't go there. Yeah, there was an end credit scene that like
I
introduced
know,
another character.
I know the character they introduced in the end credits scene,
Okay, I got you. So
which does
very
go all the way
woman
back
centric.
to. Believe that one goes all the way back to 2 or 3, right? Super
I thought
Mario.
Daisy was from Donkey Kong. I
No,
mean, I
no.
think they reintroduced her though, because I know what you're talking, but I don't know what game that is. I have no clue. But
Anyway,
anywho, I'm surprised that this is and that's fine. I think it's completely fine. It completely works for me because I mean, obviously Mario and Luigi are big parts of it. But they're just part of the party. Peach and Rosalina kind of lead the thing. For the most part, Peach though.
yeah, I just looked it up. That was created just for the film, their relationship. Oh, we didn't say it. They're sisters.
Yes,
So yeah,
they're sisters. Yes, Rosalina and Peach. Yeah, and when they get close to each other, their hands they get cosmic power.
the
Right?
cosmic
Maybe they'll
power
be
cosmic.
Galactus heralds someday. But yeah.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, so what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, it's is it completely female centric? I guess. I felt like there was a good balance between.
Yeah, I didn't. I feel I'm right there with you. I'm just saying. But I am surprised that some corners of the internet are not.
What's the
You know.
plot? What's the plot of most of the Mario games? He has to save a princess.
Yeah.
So, and they don't want to do the damsel in distress games anymore. So, um, I see that. Um, so yeah. What was I gonna say?
The coolest video game integration though they did, and this is kind of close to the end of the movie, so I'm not sure what point you want to talk about. But remember when they fought Bowser on the bridge with the axes?
Yes.
That was so cool.
Well, the
Go ahead.
all of the fights on the planet are cool because
Yeah.
Bowser Jr. is watching it on a computer screen, and what
Yes.
he sees is the
Yes.
actual original Nintendo graphics of
Right.
like the dungeon scene with the fireballs, and you have
Yeah.
Mario and Peach running through, and then the fight on the bridge. They do that whole thing with the axes. Like, yeah, um, yeah,
That's so good.
the
So
very
good.
cool.
I
So
hope I hope I hope if we ever do other video game movies that they're not afraid to do that. I think it's so cool.
no, I agree.
And actually, the one cool thing, you ever see the old at this point, the Doom movie with The Rock? At one point they do like a first person view. Like I thought that was cool, but the rest of the
So
movie sucked.
before we talk about the character they introduced in the after credit scene, the original girlfriend of Mario in Donkey Kong is Pauline, who was
Oh,
never been used,
Pauline, I
who has
see.
never been used again since since Donkey Kong. So Mario was like, "You've been used and abused by an ape. I'm dumping you. I'm going for
What
Peach.
happened to Pauline?
Justice for Pauline." Um,
Justice for Pauline. No Pauline. Anti-Pauline erasure.
So anyway, I mean, yeah, so I mean it wraps up pretty quickly. There's a fight. Mario and Luigi and Yoshi are fighting Bowser on the planet, like you said, they have the axe throwing stuff. They play around with the Mario paint stuff, like all the elements from a lot of different games. Um while Peach is in the castle or whatever the base trying to save her sister, Rosalina, who is in an orb because they're going to use her powers to power the death. I mean,
Yeah.
their planet destroying weapon. I don't remember what they called it in the movie. I mean, it's your typical movie. They save her, the good guys win. The only difference from the last movie, are they captured? Bowser and I guess they do get Bowser and Bowser Jr. get captured at the end. That's right, because they are in jail at in the mid credit scene. Uh, Star Fox comes back to pick them up at the end.
Rosalina fixes our wing. He's going back to the Lilac system soon.
Yes. Like that was one of the interesting things too, right? Like,
do you think they're going to make a Star Fox movie?
Hold on, before I get to that.
Okay.
Like they bring Star Fox in, but he is strictly a supporting character in this movie.
Yes.
He transports them and helps them get onto the planet, but like he's not in the fight at all on the planet. He's not, and he shows up at the end to him. I felt very much like, they're setting up a spin-off Star Fox movie.
Yeah.
Like
I'm here for it too.
Without a doubt. Like, but I will also argue it felt like they were setting up a spin-off Donkey Kong movie in the first one, which we did not get. In fact, Donkey Kong isn't even in this movie at all.
Brief moment while Yoshi's in New York, somehow Donkey Kong is also in New York.
Yes,
but
yes.
No Seth Rogen. Game. Seth Rogen did not get a paycheck.
Oh wait, so then Pauline's in this movie because he's throwing the barrels and she was next to him. I'm pretty sure.
Donkey Kong. Man, okay.
So there was some justice for Pauline. All right.
How would I not miss it? But miss it. Oh boy.
So there you go. Justice for her. She didn't get a speaking role though. All she said
no
was
Pauline erasure.
Help.
Yeah.
Help. That's all she ever said in the video.
Yeah.
So Rosalina fixes his warp drive, star drive, whatever they call it. So he's able to get back to his world, which really feels like a setup for a spin-off movie. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah. And then in the after credit scene, they show Daisy, who again was I didn't see it. So what happens in it?
All I can remember is her like punching a bad guy. Something happened.
Okay.
I think it was might have even been Bowser Jr. got loose or some shit, and she punches him, and it's like, oh, thank you, and you see, my kids instantly, because they like playing her in the various Mario Party and Mario, so it was at least for kids, it was a exciting moment. Even my wife's like, oh, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know if you can. She always felt like, she was always there. She was a playable character in the games, but like, can you build
they put her in there for brunette little girls or who,
Yeah. But can you build a movie around her? Like, I don't know. Probably not. Like, I also thought when they showed Yoshi in the after credit scene, they showed the egg in the after credit scene of the first movie, they were going to build the movie around Yoshi, but they didn't. And that was like, it's Super Mario Galaxy. It's like, well, wait, why didn't you do World first? Yep. Bring Yoshi in and then go to Galaxy, but nah. So
I have a feeling their next one will be Odyssey, which is pretty much the last mainline Mario game on the Switch.
Makes sense. We'll see. Or maybe they'll just go to spinoffs now. Maybe it'll just be Star Fox.
Maybe. I mean, because this is definitely a step down from the first Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, there's a lot of factors into that.
Yeah.
Super Mario is like one of those like first movies out of COVID type deal, you know.
It was.
So there was a lot, you know, there was a lot going for it. But also, you know, there was a major hit song that came out of that first movie. We have no such thing in this movie. There, you know, that's the sign of like a true. It has the pop culture pulse, you know.
That's right. There was the Peach song
Yeah.
that Jack Black sung in the first
Yep.
one, and there is no Jack Black didn't do a song for this one.
Nope.
Jack.
It's a step down for sure, but still fun. So, you know,
Yeah.
I saw someone online, you know, and I know how you feel with some of your ex podcast partners, because this person was like, if your children like this movie, you're a bad parent. I was like, that is a horrible take. I love that. I love this person, but boy. So I've seen people be critical of it. I'll put it that way. And I don't see it. I think it's fun, and it's going to make money. It's going to make a shitload of merchandising money, because, you know, it's Mario merchandise anyway, which makes money. Yeah.
One of the critics of this movie that didn't like it, basically, I don't remember who it was, but her main critique was she didn't like that Bowser was a bad guy at the end of the movie.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's like, hello, it's a movie based on a video game where Bowser's always the bad guy for kids. Like, he doesn't need a redemption arc. We don't need to feel sympathy for him. He's the bad guy, plain and simple. So, it's just a fun movie. So
he has a bunch of lava in his castle. Exactly. Good guys don't have lava in their castle.
No, they don't. All right, so let's wrap this up. You already gave your score, but again, final thoughts. And do you stick with
you know what
8.8 out of 10?
I gave my score, but you know what, I'm going to increase to 8.5 capes. I know we don't normally do 0.5 of capes, but because when I gave that, I just was thinking about the video game integration and how much I did actually enjoy that. So, you know, and Mario is nostalgic, you know, to me, and you know, it's good fun time.
All right. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. You know, because again, I'm gonna stick with I like the first one a little better. And maybe it's not recapturing the magic kind of a thing from the first one, which is fine. But it's still good. Like, it's still it's a good family movie. You should take your kids to see it. They will have fun. They'll enjoy it. If you're a fan of these games, you'll love it. You'll like the integration stuff. So yeah. We're both saying go see it. It's a good movie. That's what we thought. If you agree with us, disagree with us, especially if you disagree with us, we love that here. Let us know in the comments down below, and it might be a whole topic on the next episode. Well, with all that being said, it is time to ask that question that we do every time we get together.
What do we learn on the show tonight?
So tell me, Don, what'd you learn? You got recommendations or both?
Yeah, you know, I actually learned a lot on today's show, and I even taught myself. The first thing, and I hope I quote myself here correctly, is I learned that if you're talking about something on the internet, you're not helping.
Yes.
I also taught myself that dorky villains don't get forgiven. And then lastly, I learned that Dan Slott is nobody's slut. So,
all right.
Recommendations Mall Shadow Lord coming at you. That's right. We've got 3 freaking shows to talk about each show now. So where are you at? where you at? Where you at? 2 hours, Kassan, loving buddy. You're missing a good one here tonight. So, but it might become a little bit commonplace here for a little bit. Shadow Lord, my recommendation.
I learned that if we've got a lot of shows to talk about, we got to cut back on the news because these shows are going to run super long. I also learned that dorky felons do not get forgiven, and that when you do a show on Easter Sunday, even though it's late at night for us, there aren't as many people watching you, which is fine. You guys can watch this after the fact and comment. Recommendation, I recommend the same thing. Go watch Small Shadow Lord, because we will be talking about the premiere on the next episode. And stay tuned to the channel, because there should be a really good, there was no interview last week, but there should be a good interview this week. And I won't spoil it, but keep an eye out for that Wednesday. And all right, I thought there was a comment, but no, it's just our bot. So on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape get caught in the door. See you next time.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what are you waiting